All right, friends, the WNBA season is about to start. I'm joined with Marissa Coleman and Currie, two former WNBA players who are here to break down what's happened over the last couple of months and what we're expecting to happen this year. I mean, I think a quick recap is, well, holy crap, the Sky were a team that nobody thought really had too much of a chance in the playoffs last year, and then they won a single elimination games and then tore through every team we thought was a favorite. What's your takeaway from what last year was really about? What did we learn?
We learned that you never know who's going to win. There's a lot of parity in the league. Like you said, I think Chicago finished 6th in the regular season and ended up winning the championship. That single elimination format is really favorable to some of the teams who may not be in the top, because anybody can win one game. And so that showed to be favorable for the Sky last season.
Marissa, what'd you learn?
I agree with Mo. It just shows the parity in the W now. Last year was really good for the league in that it put Chicago now on the national map, where you're not just hearing about the Sparks and the Lynx and the Aces. Now is another team for people to follow. So I think it was good growth for the league.
Agreed. And after that, we saw a chaotic enough offseason, right? We see Angel McCautry go to the Lynx. We see the Dream trade up and draft Ryan Howard. Mo, what happened over the offseason that gets you hyped for what's about to happen now?
The biggest thing that's getting me hype is Liz Cambage in LA. I just really want to see, the Sparks were let me think of a word, very disappointing last season. They didn't make the playoffs. They, in fairness, they had a lot of injuries that they were working through. So a lot of their top players were out, the Gumakeys primarily. So I want to see what Liz can bring to LA and see if they can bring them back to, the old days of what we expected from the Sparks. That, and then also Becky Hammon taking over the lead in Vegas. I want to see kind of what she can do with that group. I feel like they've underperformed the past 2 seasons or so, and it's like championship or bust for them every season, I feel like. So I'd like to see what can Becky bring to that team to take them over the hump this season.
I think I have 2 parts for that, right? Because they kind of both go hand in hand, because Liz and Asia were the 1-2 in Vegas, who we all were always like, do they fit exactly together? Does this really work? And I think some games it was awesome, who's going to tear through this team? And then at other points we're like, maybe it's better if you stagger them, but now they finally split. So yep. What are you excited about, Mo, now that Liz is going to be able to own the paint in LA? And then the flip side, Asia is really going to be able to own the paint in Vegas.
I think Vegas will be really fun to watch. I mean, Asia was a lot of fun to watch last season, but I think sometimes like you said, the paint was a little bit crowded because Liz likes to be in there. And then Asia, even though she stretches a lot more, sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes it's like, wow, this is amazing, but more times than not, it didn't work. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Asia plays with De'Erica Hamby, who I think does a great job for Vegas and gives Asia the space that she needs to operate in the paint. And then, they had is it Kia? Stokes. Yeah, they had Stokes in there, and she's not looking to score really. So she's just in there to play some defense, which gives Asia a lot more freedom. But again, I want to see how Becky kind of helps Asia grow her game and be able to really lead the team to a championship. And then again, I don't know what Coach Fisher is doing in LA. They haven't done anything since he's been in there. Yeah, no, not really. So let's just see, Liz wanted to be out of Vegas. She wanted to be in LA. So now she's there. Let's see what you got.
And it's more than just Liz now in LA too. I feel like that team changed debatably the most over the offseason. Now they bring in Kennedy Carter also, who was, awesome when she was actually playing in Atlanta. Marissa, what gets you hype about what the Sparks are putting together?
I agree with Mo again. I'm actually really excited to see Liz in LA. From when she got drafted to Tulsa, she had made it very vocal that LA is where she wanted to be. Yep. So now that she's got her wish, hopefully she's in a good place and she can really show us what she can do. Because Liz has always been very, very skilled. I just feel like it's always been the stuff off the court, or her seemingly not being happy with the location where she's playing. So now that she is in her dream destination, I think it could be special. And anytime we talk about LA, we keep forgetting Christy Tolliver is there. Like, I mean, I'm biased because that's my college teammate, but we're talking about all the younger players. I think the veteran experience she brings to them. She's played in LA before. She's very familiar with NECA. I think that's a piece that nobody's talking about that is going to be pivotal in how they do. And two, I'm excited to see Vegas. I think Becky's going to bring a totally different mindset to them. I mean, they've been under Bill for so long. So with Becky coming from the NBA, I think she's kind of just going to change the culture a little bit. And I saw today, she said she's putting in a whole new system offensively and defensively. So I'm excited to see them play and see what Becky brings to the team.
Last point on this, and then we'll let Marissa jump to storyline she's excited about. But for these two teams, for either one of you guys, what makes it a successful season for them? Like, what do they have to do for you to say, like, this was a good step for them?
I think for Vegas, it's a championship season. I mean, to Mo's point, every year they're a team that we're talking about that can get there. That isn't that one of the 2 or 3 teams from the beginning of the season that all W fans think can win. So I think for them, there's going to be a lot of attention around them. Obviously, with Becky being there, it's like, is this finally the year for them? So I think definitely for Vegas, it's a championship. For LA, I think it's just getting back into the playoffs and trying to go deep. For them missing last year, that should be their only focus. I don't think they should look too far ahead.
Mo shaking her head.
So LA making the playoffs is the bare minimum. I expect way more. If they don't have a deep playoff run, then something went horribly wrong. I mean, they have Liz Cambage, they have NECA and Chene Agumake, they have Christy Tolliver, who we don't mention a lot, but she's a leader, she's a champion, she's been there before, and she'll be a good, role model for some of those younger players. They got Sykes out there. They have a lot of firepower. And so making to the playoffs should be expected, but making a deep run is what will really be a successful season, if not a championship for the Sparks.
But Mo, we know how it is. Like, you can look good on paper all day. Like, can you make that work? Like, those are a lot of personalities they have on their team. Those are a lot of people that expect and want the ball in their hands. So I don't think it's easy all right, if they make a deep playoff run, because to your point earlier, we don't know what Fish can really do. He's been there for a few years now. So it's like, is coaching going to come into play? How are they going to mesh? I don't think it's as easy as a deep playoff run.